The position of Western governments appears to be that the issue there is Middle Eastern bound, namely that it involves only the two players on the ground in the Middle East. And in some respects, you identified some kind of a non-committal position. But now, with the response of the Iranian government, it seems that more people in the West understand, right, that the issue in the Middle East can really spiral and affect much broader areas than the Middle East alone. So what I'm trying to say is that Donald Trump wakes up every morning doing a lot of zigzagging. One time speaks about peace, the other time speaks about war, that one needs war before peace will be reached. At the same time, all of the European leaders, including our leader here in Britain, seem to be almost indifferent and don't understand the magnitude of the problem at stake.
Well, you're referencing there some of the UK leaders calling for de-escalation. I mentioned the G7 is taking place in Canada. Do you think that either Iran or Israel will take note of what's being discussed there?
Iran, I'm not completely sure because unlike Israel, Iran does not have direct and full economic and other dependency over the G7. The G7 does not support Iran, and Iran does not extract any material resources to support its army from there. However, that is precisely the opposite the case as far as Israel is concerned. All the airplanes, all the weapons, all the defense ballistic missiles, all of it is made in the West. It is not made in Israel. So what I'm suggesting is that if the G7 would like the situation in the Middle East to end tomorrow, it is possible, right? Why? Because everything that Israel is doing rests on support, especially material support, by members of the G7. So that's the conundrum that we are facing.
In terms of what is happening on the ground at the moment, what we're hearing, what we're seeing, Israel saying today it's got control over Tehran's airspace, essentially. And then there was also this comment from President Trump reportedly vetoing a plan to kill Iran's supreme leader. Do we know what the messaging is like from Iran at the moment regarding this situation?
I think that in this instance, Israel was the party that initiated the aggression. So the Iranians were supposed to meet the American authorities 2 days after all of this began, and the operation in some respects derailed the diplomatic pathway. So that's the state of the affairs right now. I think that the reports that are coming from within Israel, as far as I can say, and I read the primary sources in Hebrew and Arabic, I think that the harm that was done in Tel Aviv is greater than is reported in the BBC and other Western medias. I think that some of the missiles did hit the center of Tel Aviv, where there are military installations there. At the moment, of course, that the harm that is inflicted by Israel on Iran is much greater, of course, but I don't think that Israeli society could sustain a very long campaign as the one we see today. And this is again risky because remember that both parties have more dangerous arsenals in their hands.